Hello, my name is Eva Burakovsky. This year I have graduated with a bachelor's degree in Textile Design from Chelsea College of Art and Design, specializing in printed textiles. The final piece for my degree project, Reconnecting, examined how living in the UK has impacted my relationship with my Russian heritage. As the name implies, I wanted to unite the experience of living in between two countries and expand on how that affected my self-understanding. I explored Eastern and Western European mythology and craft practices in the project, focusing on medieval objects and textile artifacts. I wanted to trace and combine the visual similarities that have emerged on both lands through time. For the costume, I used the shape of a 15th century Russian dress and headpiece as the canvas on which Eastern and Western European medieval symbols were merged. For example, on the front of the skirt, I united the image of the ancient Slavic siren bird, a known protective talisman for women and children, with the Scottish symbol of the unicorn taken from the famous unicorn tapestries. As the project progressed, I aimed for this piece to facilitate a dialogue with the public about the similarities of the visual traditions of the two explored cultures. This was successfully achieved when the costume was displayed for the degree show, with numerous people approaching and recognizing the mythological creatures and cultural references from their own upbringing. The project's process began with mood boards, which showed two sides of Western and Eastern Europe personified as women. In the mood boards, I have included references to historic Russian and English dress, national headwear, mythological animals, floral ornaments, and sun and moon symbolism. In the third mood board, you can see how these elements unite into a single entity. The color scheme for the project was taken directly from the concept boards. The Eastern European side was connoted with reds, oranges, golds, and copper tones, while the Western European side was signified with greens, deep turquoise, creams, and silver shades. The purple tones and the gold leaf textures were a unifier between them. Velvet, silk, and cotton fabrics were chosen to portray the rich heritage of the cultures explored, imitating the historical aesthetic of their national materials. Key mythological symbols were picked out and illustrated with black ink. Later, these illustrations were transformed into screen prints and digital embroideries adorning the final piece. This page shows how the chosen images have been turned into the digital embroidery samples, combining the symbolism with the established color palette. During the screen printing tests, I chose to use the opaque binder to make the color palette look more noticeable against the tones of the textiles. However, in the final version, I decided to layer the prints on top of foiled fabrics. This is an example from the last series of foiled samples created. After this experiment, all the final appliques were created and sewn onto the displayed piece.